Well, hello guys. We are back with another Q&A life chat. Honestly, like since I took all of July off of my YouTube channel and really wasn't that active on Instagram, I feel like you guys have just like missed out on really not a lot that's gone on in my life, but I just feel like I haven't been talking to you as casually as often. So I feel like we need to catch up. Like we need to have a FaceTime. We need to catch up. What the heck is going on? How are you guys? How are you doing? How's your summer going? Ever since it hit August, I feel like my Instagram is just bombarded with people being like, fall, fall, fall. And I'm like, did summer not just start? Like, I don't know. I'm not that like it really makes a huge difference in like my lifestyle and what I do. Like, it's not like I'm like traveling or doing anything like really fun this summer. The fun thing that I did was workshop tour, and otherwise we are just like in a rainy season here in Birmingham. I'm looking out the window right now because we're in the middle of a thunderstorm. I was going to push this off until the rain was over, and then I realized it's not gonna stop raining for probably another 5 hours. And at that point, I'm not gonna wanna film. So here we are. I asked you guys on Instagram to send in your questions, specifically like pregnancy related questions, but I'm not sure what else you guys are going to ask me on here. I haven't taken a look at any of these. And when was this? 23 hours ago. So hopefully that was plenty of time for you guys to leave your questions. Again, I didn't look at this, so it's gonna be in whatever random order. Okay, let's start out. When is your due date? So I specifically decided that I wasn't gonna share my due date on here. If you guys watched the pregnancy announcement series, I did share like how many weeks I was with the date of like when I was filming. So technically you could count it out if you wanted to, but I specifically didn't want to share the exact date just because I don't want a lot of people like hitting me up on Instagram or like really just being like, are you in labor? Like you didn't post anything for a day. Like I just don't want that for myself. So even my Instagram content, starting like when this video goes live, aka tomorrow, I'm gonna be sharing some stuff of like baby prep at like 34 weeks or whatever. Just know that that is technically pre-filmed. So like I'm telling you guys that my due date is probably sooner than maybe you think, unless you did calculate it out, then you would know. Will you introduce little man to Instagram and YouTube after he is born or keep it private? So I am still like on the fence with this. I very much so have the exact same mindset that I had in the beginning when I got asked this question as well. I chose to make my life public. No one else in my life decided to make their life public, so I would hate to make that decision for my child. And there's a lot of things that go into like sharing a kid on the internet, and I think I'm going to be incredibly, incredibly selective. So you may see his face like when he's first born, or maybe it will be like a couple of weeks and you'll see him here and there. Like he's going to obviously be a huge part of my life. So like he'll be around, but he will not be the center focus of my content. Absolutely not. If one day he's like, hey mom, I want to film a YouTube video, even then I'll fake film a YouTube video with him, but it ain't going anywhere. Like he will not be the center of my content. My content is still going to be me. Are you nervous to give birth? Okay, so we're coming up. It's coming up quick, which is just wild. I don't feel nervous, but at the same time, I have started to randomly have panic attacks. So I did not actually realize the difference between panic attacks and anxiety attacks until my therapist described it to me, and she was like, what you're experiencing is panic attacks, because they just come up out of nowhere where I feel like I'm not in an anxious situation. There's no real reason for them, but I just feel my heart just like pick up speed. And if you have a panic attack, you know, like it just like consumes my body, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, whew. So I've started to have some panic attacks, and I almost think it is in relation to, for one, my life is like going to change majorly. But birth, because I am such a planner, and I'm in the phase now where it's like he can come pretty soon, or he still has a little bit of time, and it's like you just don't know. Like it can happen at any time. And I think that is starting to get to me a little bit of like, okay, well, can you just like give me a date? Like I wish I had a date. I wish I knew how much time I have to like finish my prepping or like get stuff done around the house. Like the unknown is starting to slightly kill me. Otherwise, I'm not worried about birth. Like I thought I would be, but I'm not. I'm just kind of like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I really do not know what is best in the sense, gosh, the lighting is like now coming in this sense of like, if I'm gonna need like an emergency C-section or something, like that's gonna be the doctor's call. Or, well, I mean, I'm sure they'll like consult me or whatever, being like, this is what we should do, we gotta do it. So I'm just kind of going into it with the mindset of like, whatever's gonna happen, it's going to happen. It's kind of out of my control. So I'm just gonna focus on my breathing, do what I can do, and go into it with hopefully a good mindset, positive vibes, and we'll see what the heck happens. One way or another, this baby has to come out of my body. So who the heck knows? What are you most nervous and excited about becoming a mom? Excited? Oh, there's too many things. I'm really, really curious what the heck he's going to look like, because I have no good ultrasound photos. So I'm curious about that. Like, what are my features? What are his dad's features? I'm like, what is this guy gonna look like? Otherwise, just to see like who he's gonna be and to live life with him. I'm just gonna have like a little buddy, a little friend, and I'm very excited about that. Nervous. I'm sure there's things I'm nervous about, but there's none that are coming to mind right now. I've really just like looked forward to this phase of my life for so long. Like I've always wanted to be a mom that I'm just like so excited for all of it. Like I'm like, give me the terrible twos, the tantrums, give me all of it. Like I'm so excited. Okay, I guess I'll be like, when a baby's first born and they can't hold their head, that like stresses me out so much. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I think like that phase of like consciously just like having to worry about their head, which I'm sure it's gonna come so naturally to me, but I don't know, maybe that, we'll give it that. Did you enjoy being pregnant? I hated it both times, but know some women love it. So it's interesting because I think the people I follow on Instagram, at least recently, that have been pregnant have not enjoyed their pregnancy. So when I went into being pregnant, I loved it so much. Like, yeah, first trimester is like not that much fun in the sense of like, it's just a scary time. Like you're nervous. I was one of those people that like every time I went to the bathroom, I was scared, and I kind of wish I didn't have that mindset. But first trimester, it's just like, it's a little freaky. I was freaking exhausted, and the nausea, throwing up is like not that much fun. But I really did not have a bad first trimester. Like I felt pretty normal most of the time. Second trimester, thriving, living my best life. Like everyone is right about second trimester. It's the happiest, best trimester. Third trimester, I'm now back in the phase of, oh my gosh, I am exhausted. Like I am so tired 100% of the time, and I feel like I just keep complaining about that, but it's like I can't get a good night's sleep and I'm exhausted. Otherwise, I don't have a ton of symptoms. I have heartburn. Heartburn's been killing me the last few days, but it's still manageable. It's doable. Like, and I feel like I don't really have that much to complain about, but there's some days where it's just like, I do feel myself complaining because it's so freaking hot in Alabama, and I'm in my like last phase here of pregnancy, and you know, there's some things to complain about with like swelling, leg cramps, heartburn, exhaustion. Like it's par for the course. But otherwise, I have absolutely loved it. I really have. Like, I think I'm gonna miss being pregnant. In reality, like maybe by the time I'm like ready to pop, I'll be like, get this baby out of me. Like I'm over it. But I've actually enjoyed it. I really have. So I feel bad for anyone that does not enjoy their pregnancy, because I know it's so different for every single person that goes through it, especially just like symptoms and even like mental health stuff. Like I feel so good mentally in my pregnancy, and I know that's not the case for everyone. So I do think I'm gonna miss pregnancy. Gender reveal. You guys, I'm having a boy. Will you be scheduling your videos to go out during your maternity? So actually, I'm just gonna totally go dark here on YouTube. I'm just gonna piece the heck out. It is what it is. My focus is going to be on my child and myself, and not on creating YouTube videos. I will come back on Instagram first. So you guys will get reels, you'll get Instagram stories, stuff like that. Instagram is going to be kind of my main platform in a sense. And then YouTube I will slowly come back to, but no, I'm not scheduling anything out. Other than I did say I am like pre-filming some content for Instagram, some of that will go out. I'm hoping to like disguise the fact that I'm in labor or even that I like had a kid, and then I'll announce like a week later or something, like when I am ready to do that. But otherwise, no, YouTube, there will be nothing. What pains and aches have you had? Do you constantly have to pee? Oh my gosh, yes. But ever since like first trimester, I feel like I constantly had to pee. Second trimester, it was more manageable, because apparently in first trimester it's more so hormones, not sure. Second trimester it was more so normal, obviously had to go more than normal, and right now it's kind of unbearable. Like I feel like I'm just constantly running to the bathroom, but I work from home and the bathroom is right there, so it's really not that big of a deal. Do you have a name picked out? So yes, we finally do. It took us a lifetime, but I think by the time I entered into my 8th month of pregnancy, no, even before that, I think we were like 7 months, 7.5 months, we had a first name nailed down. And then I'm not sure, he texted me jokingly the other day about changing the middle name, so maybe the middle name is going to change, I'm not sure. But we just came up with a middle name maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe, and then he just texted me 2 days ago. So we'll see, maybe the middle name is going to change. The middle name I'm not so much as worried about, but yeah, we have got it nailed down. Are you going to do a maternity photo shoot? So I'm going to do one myself. I actually really need to like plan that out. Like I'm just gonna self-timer it / remote it and do one myself. But no, I did not like hire a photographer or anything to do a maternity photo shoot. Oh, this is interesting. Do you have any affirmations for during labor? Anything to bring you calm and focus? So I have been doing, honestly, I did a ton of research when I was end of first trimester, start of second trimester, in terms of breathing techniques, mindset, and positions and stuff. Because even just like the different phases of pregnancy and getting a baby, like to engage in your pelvis, and then like the different phases of like how to open up, like it's something I've never had to look into before. So I did some research around that. I don't really have any affirmations set in place other than just knowing like my body is built for this, and how many freaking women have done it in the past. Like this is not one of those things where I'm the only person that has ever done this. There's so many women that have done it, and it's just like kind of knowing that. I do want to create a labor playlist, and I haven't yet. I do have like 2 playlists that I know I can just like fall back on if I want to, but like that I have created that I just like personally enjoy myself. But otherwise I do want to create that, and then no, I really don't have a plan. I'm just kind of going into it with like whatever's gonna happen, so we'll see. Oh, do you have a postpartum depression / anxiety plan in case it happens? I really recommend it. So one of the reasons I wanted to get started with therapy this year was because of postpartum. I have no idea what that's going to look like for me. And just like my experience with mental health in the past, I did not want to be in a situation where I did not have the right help team around me. So when I decided to get a therapist several months ago at this point, I specifically was looking for someone that specialized in postpartum anxiety, depression, and everything that comes along with it. So thankfully the therapist I did find specializes in that. So I have been meeting with her weekly for just like other life stuff. And then I will continue to see her after, and hopefully I'm all good, but like I know it is so freaking real, and I just know myself too, I really, really struggle to ask for help. And if I didn't have that in place, I wouldn't have then put it in place until it was like almost too late in the sense. So it's like, even when I first moved into this house and I was like really struggling there for a while, I didn't realize I was struggling until I was like basically out of it. And then I was like, holy fuck, you were in a bad place. Like, we were not good mentally there, girl. It was not good. I didn't realize until I was almost out of it. So I think having regular meetings with my therapist, just like immediately going into postpartum, will help to have someone else kind of recognize it for me and to like also just be getting help immediately through the process. So I'll let you know how that goes. I have been loving therapy. I really enjoy the therapist that I found, and it's just been so freaking good for me. What will content look like after maternity leave? Great question. And the other one is how long, wow, this person actually submitted a lot of questions. How long will you be on maternity leave? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. That's the hard thing with working for yourself, loving what you do, and just like being a content creator. Like there's some creators that like immediately give birth and they're just like continuing to create content. Like they're still going. That's not going to be me. It's not. I am not going into labor with the mindset of, oh, I'm gonna film like a birth vlog and stuff like that. Like that's not me. I do not want to be focused on work at all. I will not be creating reels in the hospital room. This is not me. This is not my life. So for maternity leave, it's just kind of like whatever I make it, whatever I want to do. And I'm just really going to play it by ear. What I have done is I have one more sponsorship that's going to go live before baby comes. And then otherwise I do not have any sponsorships lined up for the rest of the year. So we'll see, like if one pops up that's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I would love to work with this company, let's do it, I'll do it. But otherwise I'm definitely taking at least a solid month off of normal content, but I think I'll probably take like 2 months off of normal content and then I will come back. What content will look like after, I still want it to be kind of what I'm creating right now. So like I've narrowed it down more so to like, what are my 3 main topics? You guys know if you've watched any of my other like strategy videos, it's like, if you want to niche down, but like not niche down, but like have a purpose within your channel and honestly just like grow a little bit, like your branding needs to not just be totally all over the place. So the few things that I have narrowed down my brand to at this point are home, this renovation, design, doing my like room makeovers and stuff. The bedroom makeover is coming next. So next week you guys are gonna get the master bedroom makeover. Freaking finally, I've been working on that since May. There's no reason why it's taken me that long, but that's coming. So home, continue to share business stuff because I absolutely love sharing business stuff, but just like integrate it in a way that kind of like lead by example. So like show you guys, oh my gosh, show you guys how I've been able to do things and like talk a little bit about strategy and open up in that sense. And then how I've created this life, you know, living your best life is my motto. Create a life you love. I was like, what is the word there? That has always been my messaging. So it's still going to be that. I think you guys are going to see like day in the life of like me as a newborn mom, and like you'll see the things that I'm doing and like how I'm balancing being a mom and handling all of the work that goes into being a content creator. And I'm honestly like, I'm not sure, but my channel is not going to turn into a whole mommy channel. It will be thrown in there, obviously, and there's going to be titles that like include new mom, morning routine with like a 5-month-old or something. Like I really don't know, but you're still going to get like just a glimpse into my life. And I want to go back to like talking more about like how I've created this life. Like I created a reel on the adoptiversary for Fancy because I adopted her over 7 years ago, which is crazy. And I just talked about like all the life experiences and things that we've done together and how this career has allowed me to do that. And I would love to share more stories like that and just find a way to naturally integrate them within my content. I'm just not sure the best way to do it, but like, I don't know. I've been like really reevaluating my brand this year. If that isn't apparent, it might not be apparent, but to me it's like very apparent of like, okay, what do you really want to do? Because I was in one niche for so long, and then I was like, oh, let's pivot out of that. And then I bought this house, and then I was just like hard house. And now I'm like, okay, I don't want all my content to be house. Like, yeah, I want some of it. Like I love the room makeover videos. They have been my favorite videos to create recently, but it's just like finding a good healthy mix. Anyway, okay. Ooh, why didn't you buy maternity clothes? I think I actually only bought maybe 3 pieces of maternity clothes. And the sole reason why, well, no, there's a couple of reasons. One, I work from home. So it's like, I mean, this shirt I've had forever and can still wear perfectly over the bump. And then I'm just wearing biker shorts. But I work from home. So it's like wearing biker shorts and continuing to just wear my oversized shirts that I already had. Perfect. There was no reason for me to spend money on maternity clothes. The only maternity clothes I did buy, I bought a green romper, which is maternity, but I can wear post maternity, which I love. I bought another dress that was also maternity, but again, you can wear that post maternity, and otherwise I just bought dresses that I could wear pregnant and then also not pregnant. And I'm just not like, I'm not a huge fashionista girl, so like I didn't feel the need to like spend a lot of money on clothes that especially I could only wear during like one season of life. Two, comfort is like my go-to, my ride or die. So if I'm just gonna continue to live in my biker shorts, I'm gonna continue to live in my biker shorts. And yeah, so I bought a few things for workshop tour because I needed things to wear, because like there's several dresses that I've actually worn through my pregnancy that I just had that worked in pregnancy, but otherwise I didn't have enough for workshop tour because that was like 2 weeks. So I bought a few pieces, but just personal preference, saving money, and also just like function of my clothing. I want them to last far beyond a season. You do you, man. You do whatever you want to do. Did you experience round ligament pain? If yes, how did you handle it? So the way my doctor explained it, I thought at one point I did experience round ligament pain, but I really don't think I did. I think it's just like my body was stretching and moving and it felt like really tight and it was just like uncomfortable. And maybe that is what round ligament pain is. I don't know. But I don't really think I experienced it. Even with like lightning crotch and like other things like that, I haven't experienced any of that. I feel so incredibly lucky. Like I'm telling you, I have had a very, very easy pregnancy in the sense where there are some days that I could legitimately forget that I'm pregnant. Like I feel so normal in my body to like, I say normal like pre-pregnancy, like I feel normal, and then I get kicked and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. Or like the amount of times on workshop tour that I would like catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh. And Karen would be like, what girl? And I'm like, I'm pregnant. It's so ridiculous, but like, I just don't feel as big as I am. And there have been several moments where like I could legitimately just forget totally that I am pregnant. And I feel so incredibly lucky for that. Like I think that's why I've enjoyed my pregnancy so much, because it's just like, I feel so chill. Have you picked the hospital or done a hospital tour yet? Yeah, so the doctor, I don't know if this was actually, I think it was supposed to be included in the pregnancy series. I'm not sure if it was. I had to get a new doctor. So I ended up specifically picking a doctor that practiced at a hospital that is relatively close to my home, a solid distance driving, like, or not a solid distance driving, but like an easy driving distance. Like there's a couple of big hospitals in the area, and there would have been one that would have been a far longer drive, and I didn't want to do that. I would love to labor at home as much as possible and then just go in instead of having like a 40-minute drive to a hospital. Like I do not want to do that. So my hospital has been picked out like ever since, really, like, gosh, when did I even make the call? I think I was like maybe like 5 weeks. I think it was like a week after I found out I was pregnant, I scheduled my doctor's appointment, something like that. So yeah, my hospital has been picked out. I have not done a hospital tour yet. So I did share this on my Instagram stories that I want to do a labor and delivery floor tour. My hospital does do those, mainly because I just want to familiarize myself with the space. I want to know exactly where we are going, where we need to park, what we're walking into. Just like how with my anxiety, I'm the type of person, if it's like we're going to a new restaurant, I need to know the parking situation. So I'll take a look on the satellite on the maps and I'll see what is the parking situation like. Like I just like to know as much information as possible, and especially with going into the birth of a child, I would like to be as prepared as possible. So I am like registered with my hospital, and they gave me like the full instructions of like, okay, these are considered during hours, this is where you'll go. If it's after hours, this is where you go. And I have all of that, so I feel prepared in that sense, but I still want to do a hospital tour. So I actually called them twice and I didn't get someone on the phone, and I could have left a voicemail, but I just didn't feel like it. So I need to call them again. I probably should do that realistically this week so I can set it up within like the next week or two to do a tour. This is funny. What is the common piece of advice you're tired of getting? If you're tired now, just wait till the baby comes. And it's funny because I have people in my life that have given birth like relatively recently, but even like one girlfriend from college that just gave birth, she was like, honestly, newborn tired is a different tired than pregnancy tired. She's like, I'm actually getting better sleep with a newborn than I did during pregnancy. And that's almost how I feel like it's going to be for me. I have not had a solid night's sleep in a very, very long time, and I have been getting up at least 4 times in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and even then, at least 2 of the times I'm up for a solid half an hour plus. And I just kind of feel like this is my body like getting me ready for having a newborn, for the nighttime feedings, changings, all of that stuff. So yeah, I think I'm honestly kind of sick of people just being like, oh, you're gonna be so tired, it's like, well, no, like, I know in a sense what comes along with having a newborn, and I'll experience it, but it's just like, I don't know. I see a lot of people on Instagram as well share the, like, you'll have so many people be like, just wait, and it's like always the negative stuff. It's not like the, just wait till your kid smiles at you for the first time. Like, just wait until you hear them laugh for the first time. Just wait until they say, like, I love you for the first time. Like, you see them walk and experience all these things. Like, people don't talk about that. It's like, oh, just wait until they can start talking back, you know? It's like the negative. And I'm just such a positive mindset person that I'm just like, okay, like, yeah, I'm gonna be tired. I know I'm gonna be tired, but I'm still like so excited for all of it. Oh gosh, what is something from your pregnancy you'll always remember, good or bad? Sadly, there's been a decent bit of bad. So sadly, I'll remember that. I have had the joy from this pregnancy stripped away from me, and I allowed it to happen, and that's difficult. But I think I'll remember how people showed up for me during my pregnancy. That's just what I will say. We're fine. Therapy, man, therapy. What's your pain tolerance? I think I actually have a really, really high pain tolerance, but we'll see. Obviously, I've never given birth before, so I have absolutely no idea how that is all going to pan out. Did you decide against doing videos about 2nd and 3rd trimester? So the pregnancy series, I did like 1st trimester behind the scenes, and then like start of 2nd trimester behind the scenes. And I actually asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted me to like continue that series and just like continue vlogging and like documenting what was going on in the other trimesters. Honestly, because of what I shared of like having the joy of my pregnancy just like stripped away, I stopped filming and I stopped documenting, and I hate that. I really hate it, because now I don't have all the little like memories, because even I had a list going on my phone, or a note going on my phone, of all of my symptoms, and every single week I was writing my symptoms, which, mind you, it's different 1st trimester because every single week it gets like different, but that continued up until week 21 and 22 of my pregnancy, which is actually the last thing I really documented for you guys. And then I just stopped. And I even had this like photo series that I was doing where every other week I was taking photos in the exact same outfit in the exact same spot. And I had like a video going as well, because I wanted to do like a video the whole way through my pregnancy, like showing the growth of my belly. And I stopped doing that as well. And I hate that. Like, I hate it. I hate that happened, but it is what it is. It's already happened. So yeah, I didn't end up filming any other like behind the scenes video that you guys are going to get. I am debating like the last week or two if I want to just like start documenting like a little bit like every day, or as like I'm starting to experience like some symptoms, or even nesting. I have decided that I'm making videos on Instagram for that instead of like YouTube. So I'm doing like weekly prep for baby. What I'm doing, I'm sharing that on Instagram. But otherwise, I have one idea for a video that I might do. How hard has breathing been? I have anxiety, so that part terrifies me. Oh, okay. So for me, it hasn't been bad, but what I will say is like I do get out of breath far quicker. So I mean, I'm gonna give you advice, take it or leave it. You don't have to take it. if you're worried that, like, especially with like anxiety attacks, or even when you like can feel like I just said I've been having like panic attacks and stuff, and even like yesterday, oh my gosh, my power went out in my house. I had a tree fall on a freaking power line. I was in here so damn hot, I could not leave the house. Like, I could have like detached my garage door, whatever, and I could have got my car out, but I couldn't even leave my property because there were lines down on my driveway. Like, I had no shot but to be in this house. Outside was freaking so dang hot, but it's just like the humidity that like made it so bad. So I was in here, and I have been keeping the house at 70 degrees, which is colder than normal for me, but with pregnancy, you just get hot. So obviously power went out, no air conditioning, there was no circulation, there were no fans. It was, oh my gosh, I had an anxiety attack yesterday because I just felt like I could not breathe. That was the only point where I was like, this is bad. Like, this is bad. Breathing is harder because you just like weigh more for one, but also it's just so much like right here, like your lungs, all of this. But it's very quick for me to snap myself out of things, especially in terms of him. If you are thinking in the sense of that anxiety attack type thing, breathing, not fun, not fun. Otherwise, it has not been bad. It's just like walking up a lot of stairs, and it has to be a lot of stairs, that I get out of breath. If I'm talking for a long time, like, I'm sure I'll watch this back and be like, oh girl, you're actually like breathing probably louder than normal. But that's also just like normal. I don't know. I haven't really experienced anything bad with it. It's just like, yeah, I do get out of breath a little bit quicker. Like if I'm going up a ton of stairs or something, yeah, I'll get out of breath, but it has not been bad at all. So I don't know. There's some things that are just like so out of your control too, and it's just like your body doing what it's supposed to do, that I don't know, I think it's almost like empowering and cool, and the female body is just so fascinating to me. Like, the first few doctor's appointments I had, I remember just being like, holy crap, like we really just let the female body do its thing without like any intervention. Like, there's only supposed to be 2 scheduled ultrasounds your pregnancy, unless there needs to be more. So I don't know, it's just like so fat. Like, you just go in, they're like, heartbeat, check out your symptoms, cool, everything good, weigh you, you're out of there. Like, there's just like no, I don't know. It's just like fascinating to me that I'm like, the body just does this thing, and we just like allow it to do this thing, and it like creates life. Like, so wild. I totally just messed that all up there trying to change the settings, because the sun is now coming out. I think the rain actually might be done here soon. Anyway, oh my gosh, this is not even focused on me. That is going to be it for, I mean, I answered almost every single question. Yeah, you guys, baby boy is coming soon, which is crazy. Content up until birth, I am hoping that I can still get 1 video live every single week. So next week, you guys are going to get the master bedroom makeover. After that, I gotta submit a concept idea to a brand, and then, yeah, we'll see what happens. But otherwise, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram, because really that's where I'm going to be active. It's not going to be here on YouTube. It's going to be on Instagram. So that's it. I will see you guys next week for a freaking room makeover. I'm so excited to finally share that space. Holy crap.